why would we leave the warm confines of the attractive and grand and bountiful studio of AzTV to come outside? Because we can't put cars in the studio, and Drew Alcazar from Russo and Steele brought cars. Drew, one of the great names in show business, Drew Alcazar, bringing automobiles not just here, but to the location of the auction that we wait for every year.
Well, we're awfully excited about it coming up, Pat. Of course, it's going to be Thursday through Sunday. Gates open at 9 a.m. Gates open up a little earlier this year than usual.
Crowd is that big that
yep.
you got to open early.
And we're right there on Scottsdale Road and the North Loop 101 freeway. You can see our big tents. We've got 4 football fields of over 800 European sports, American muscle, hot rods and customs, all kinds of collector cars.
How many?
We're gonna have almost 800 of them out there.
Wow.
Shelbys, Cobras, Mopars, Camaro Z28s, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, you name it, we've probably got it.
And if I do this the right way with the right number, I can go home with one of those cars.
Absolutely,
right?
We'll let you do that.
Okay. All I can tell you is that when you're talking about cars like this,
That was actually a 1970 Hemi Cuda convertible. We sold that vehicle 2 years ago at Russo and Steele for $1.7 million.
Wow. Well, is the value attached to a car dependent on simply what it goes for in auction?
Well, a lot of it's dependent on, the history and who restored the car. The car on the screen right now, of course, is a Ferrari. We're going to have that at the auction this year. You'll be able to come out and see the Ferrari there for sale. It's a fabulously well-restored car. Ferraris, of course, are just on a vertical trajectory in their value. They're compounding exponentially.
One of the hottest lines.
They are hot, hot, hot right now. We've got a bunch of them.
When you're talking about, though, the name Russo and Steele, yeah, I like Drew Alcazar as a name, but who's Russo and who's Steele?
Well, that's a fun question. Actually, Russo represents the sports cars we sell. It's derived from the original color on old Ferraris, Rosso Rubino. And then we wanted to represent the muscle cars that we sell, so we were thinking about Detroit Iron. Then the name Steele came along. We threw an E on the end of it for panache, and it just had a ring.
All right, now listen, if you're talking about panache, that isn't the name of this car. It isn't the line. What is it? What is this?
This is actually just our promotional Challenger. We run around and do these kinds of things with it. I don't think I'm going to be robbing any banks in that car. It's pretty conspicuous.
No, but a Challenger, though, still has its own appeal. When you're talking about those big American cars with all that vroom under the hood, yes. They never seem to lose their attraction.
Well, you see the manufacturers now really recapturing a lot of their things, with Ford doing the Mustang, Chrysler doing the Challenger, Chevrolet doing the Camaro. You see them kind of acknowledging their heritage and doing updated versions of the cars that have been collectible forever. So that's kind of a nice acknowledgement.
What is it that makes a car most collectible? Is it the age? Is it just the history of the individual car? What is it?
Well, that's an interesting question. What makes a car collectible? Rarity, of course, does not always equal desirability. Those are two very separate things. A lot of the cars, people are sort of replicating trying to recapture their youth. You were 15, 16 years old looking through the window at the showroom going, wow, someday I'm going to own that Hemi Cuda. And now, of course, you've gotten to, our age, and we've got some discretionary income, and we want to go back and get the car that we couldn't afford then.
You're suggesting that I'm trying to recapture my lost youth. I never lost it.
Nor did I.
All I can tell you is...
We're just enjoying an extension of our youth.
You know what? I love these events. And there are many events going on at the same time.
Yep.
What makes Russo and Steele different than the ones that have been coming here the same length of time or longer?
Well, we focus a little bit more on the cars. It's really about the auction for us. We have a very unique environment at the auction, where we've got actually what we call auction in the round. And the cars go right street level through the crowd, and all of the seating's elevated. So we have this sort of Coliseum boxing ring kind of an effect, to where the crowd's 360 degrees around the car.
You're really on top of the action, aren't you?
You're looking at on the screen right now, sort of that auction in the round environment that's very much unique Russo and Steele, and that creates that visceral, really emotional connection with the car, which is why they're collector cars in the first place. You're supposed to be having fun.
If somebody has never been to an auction, if they walk in to yours or any of the others, they may be surprised at the dynamics of the people who are involved with the auction itself. Talk about that.
Well, at least in our environment, it's very interactive. It's very exciting. I'm on the floor, sort of as the ringman. My auctioneers are on these elevated platforms looking down on the audience and the cars pulling the bids.
Well, some of the guys, though, it's like they're performing in Rage in the Cage, you know? I mean, it's like it's their car that just went for $1 million. They really get involved.
Well, you get the buyers as well. You know, sometimes you get those bidding wars going back and forth where, you know, the car may be worth $100,000, but all of a sudden, you know, it's really taken off in the value and people are bidding more money maybe than the car is even worth, but they have their ego involved with it now and their passion and their emotions taking over, and those are very fun times on the auction block.
There's somebody watching right now saying, you know what, I'd love to go, but I know I can't participate because I'm not in that bracket of wealth.
No, not at all. Please come out. It's all about having fun. We've got $20 general admission gate at the door, Scottsdale Road and the North Loop 101 freeway, open to the public. See our website, russoandsteele.com. You can look at all of the different stuff on there.
Well, if you're looking, then you're looking at Russo and Steele this weekend.
Indeed. See you there.